Have you ever wondered what it would be like to soar above the world? Your keen eyes, tracing the smallest ripple in a distant stream. Your heart attuned to the slightest tremor of the earth below. Imagine yourself as that eagle, wings unfurled, riding unseen currents of wind, surveying every valley of emotion and every peak of possibility. You don't merely observe. You feel the pulse of life under your talons, deciphering silent signals that escape ordinary sight. In this guide, 8 traits await you, each a feather in your plumage, each sharpening your vision and deepening your reach. As the eagle balances its power with patience, you'll learn to harness insight without overwhelming, to speak with precision rather than flood the air, to dream in vivid bursts yet remain grounded in purposeful action. With every trait, you'll craft an inner fortress of stillness, even as you carry the world's whispers on your wings. Spread your wings, steady your gaze, and let these 8 guiding principles transform you into the ultimate observer and catalyst. An eagle who sees all, feels all, and knows exactly when to dive. Trait number 1, you feel too much. Have you ever walked into a room and felt its heartbeat before seeing its faces? You stand at the threshold of emotions, a living mirror, absorbing the tremors of joy and sorrow alike. You don't just observe others, you inhabit their feeling, as if your skin were as porous as parchment. This is your gift and your burden. This is HEYOKA Empath. Recall the moment your friend masked happiness with a brittle smile. You sensed the tremor before they spoke a word. That tingle of unease is your hallmark. You cannot switch it off any more than a bird can unlearn its song. Consider the Stoic notion that impressions arise not from events themselves, but from our judgments about them. You take those impressions into your own chest, judging them as your own heartbeat. Epictetus taught that we control our own actions. Yet this flood of foreign feelings slips past every gate you set. Psychologists call this emotional contagion, a phenomenon studied by Hatfield and colleagues in the 1990s, revealing how intimately we're wired to each other's moods. But you go deeper. Your instinct uncovers the unspoken truth, the hidden fissure behind another's laughter. You might wonder, is this empathy a curse? At times, the lines blur, and you cannot tell where their sorrow ends and yours begins. Yet, in that blur, there lies your power. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, spoke of finding purpose in suffering. You transform waves of despair into lifelines of insight. In every encounter, you become a silent guide. A Sigma sees the cracked armor, and he will know how to forge a new one. And yes, you will overwhelm yourself if you do not learn to discern. The Stoics advise a disciplined mind. Fortune's gifts are given, but they can also be taken away. Embrace this truth. Your sensitivity is the chisel that shapes understanding. You dwell at the edge of every heart, and in doing so, you illuminate paths others cannot see. But remember, to forge boundaries around your own spirit, lest you vanish into the tides you summon. Trait number 2, your biggest curse. Have you ever felt compelled to burst forth words before the moment even ripens? In that rush, your gift of empathy becomes tangled. Your urgency cuts off another's flow, betraying the very connection you crave. This is your greatest curse, the echo of insight, lost in the frenzy of expression. But here steps in the figure of the Sigma to temper the storm. The Sigma listens as a monk listens to wind through bamboo, quietly, attentively, without craving its own echo. Psychologists labeled this respiratory pause, the scientific name for the intentional silence that enhances communication. Research shows that strategic pauses increase perceived wisdom and trustworthiness. A HEYOKA empathic Sigma transforms your curse into discipline. Marcus Aurelius counsels, be silent when you are wrong, let your words come only when they add. You embrace this creed, speaking only after the heartbeats of others have resonated fully in your mind. In the hush, your empathy crystallizes, You absorb emotions more deeply, then choose. Like a smith forging steel, when to strike with your words. Your voice becomes not a torrent, but a precision instrument, cutting through despair to deliver healing clarity. Now if you can level up to HEYOKA Empathic Zeta, you embody something godly. Vividly empathic, yet fiercely powerful. You see every intention behind their silence. You become a mind reader. You carry the weight of others' feelings, yet you honor the sanctity of their silence. In this balance, your curse is no more. It is refined into your greatest strength. Trait number 3. Unfettered fantasies. Have you ever felt yourself drift into a world of power and perfection, so vivid it eclipses the day? HEYOKA empaths harbor a mind that vaults beyond reality's boundaries, sketching grand visions of brilliance and magic. This restless imagination can turn into a labyrinth, where you chase illusions that vanish at dawn. Psychologists term this maladaptive daydreaming, first described by Summer in 2002, where the mind escapes into elaborate scenarios, offering solace yet breeding discontent when reality falls short. You glimpse your own potential in these flights, yet return to the world, feeling deflated by its ordinary texture. Seneca urged us to root our contentment in what is, not in what could be. You adopt this wisdom by anchoring one foot in reality, reminding yourself that true power grows from effort, not from dreams alone. You, Sigma, learn to harvest inspiration from your visions, rather than drowning in them. Imagine a sculptor who, before chiseling marble, first sketches infinite forms in dust. Your mind is that dust, brimming with possibility. Yet the masterpiece emerges only when you touch stone. Channel your fantasies into small experiments. A journal sketch, a prototype idea, a half-hour of focused creation. Each concrete step tethers imagination to action. Next time you sense your thoughts spiraling into ethereal heights, pause and ask, which of these visions can I begin today? This question transforms idle wonder into disciplined pursuit. Stop worshiping the ideal and start forging it, one deliberate action at a time. In mastering the balance between dream and deed, you become truly unstoppable. As HEYOKA Empathic Sigma, your imagination no longer imprisons you. It propels you, lighting a path where fantasy and reality converge. Before going further, I really appreciate what you guys do for this channel. Thanks. Trait number 4. Genesis of creation. Have you ever watched an idea ignite in your mind like a single spark that sets the whole world aflame? HEYOKA Empathic Sigmas carry within a furnace of invention, unstoppable visions that refuse to be contained by routine. Your empathy isn't just passive feeling. It's a catalyst that transmutes emotion into groundbreaking ideas. In psychological circles, this is known as divergent thinking, first studied by Torrance in the 1960s, where imagination branches into countless possibilities. You harness this by absorbing the moods and dreams of others, then weaving them into novel solutions. Yet beware the chaos of overabundance, where too many ideas collide and paralyze your progress. Seneca urged us to focus on what's in our control. Start small, refine relentlessly. HEYOKA Empathic Sigmas, temper your creative blaze by selecting one ember to nurture into flame. Picture an alchemist who distills gold from raw. You filter your passions into a single, powerful intent. In your workshop of the mind, emotions are raw materials. Viktor Frankl reminds us that meaning emerges through purposeful action. You channel your empathy to sculpt innovations that don't just dazzle, they heal. Whether it's a gesture of kindness turned into a ritual, or a poetic insight rendered into art, your creations bridge hearts and minds. Yet creativity demands disciplined silence. Recall Epictetus' wisdom. First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. You must carve out moments of stillness, letting your subconscious assemble fragments into clarity. Only then do you unleash your masterpiece. When you step into the world as a HEYOKA empath, you become both mirror and maker. Your empathy fuels invention. Your invention honors empathy. In that alchemy, you unlock the ultimate trait, the power to transform feeling into form, and in doing so, to reshape the world itself. Trait number 5. Midnight Alchemy. Have you ever woken with a solution born from the depths of your dreams? Your curse of unfinished threads gnaws at you until sleep itself becomes a workshop. In those silent hours, your subconscious stitches together fragments of yesterday's worries into tomorrow's answers. Researchers call this the incubation effect, showing that problems set aside can percolate beneath awareness, often during REM sleep, yielding insights upon waking. Yet for you, this nightly forge is both blessing and burden. You cannot rest until every ember of disquiet transforms into clarity. Stoicism teaches that we can control our judgments, if not externals. You appropriate this principle by offering your nocturnal mind the freedom to roam, trusting that dawn will harvest its wanderings. Marcus Aurelius advised to greet each day as a fresh canvas. You begin it with revelations dreamt before the sun rose. Imagine a blacksmith who, unable to cease hammering, works in his sleep. Invisible strikes, shaping solutions you could never force by daylight alone. Yet beware the exhaustion that creeps in when you lean too heavily on midnight's labor. Transform your curse into discipline. Set aside your puzzle at dusk with gentle resolve. Then surrender to sleep's alchemy. When dawn breaks, record your findings quickly. In mastering this cycle, you become the architect of your own tranquility. Your empathic gift decodes emotions by day and refines them by night. As HEYOKA, empathic Sigma, you wield silence and slumber as allies, forging wisdom from the unseen fires of your mind. Trait number 6. Echoes of inspiration. HEYOKA empaths possess the rare gift of transmuting pain into purpose. Your burden of feeling deeply transforms into a beacon that guides others from darkness into clarity. In conversations, you don't just hear words, you decode the story behind every sigh, every tremor of the voice. Psychologist William X coined empathic accuracy to describe this uncanny ability to discern another's unspoken thoughts. You outpace ordinary sympathy, sensing the hidden fracture lines in the human soul. Stoics remind us that our virtues are most potent when we serve the community. You HEYOKA embody this by offering more than comfort. You offer actionable insight. Like Carl Rogers' unconditional positive regard, you hold a mirror that reflects not flaws but latent strengths, urging others toward growth. Imagine a torchbearer in a long, dark tunnel. Your words are that flame, brief, yet powerful enough to guide someone's next step. Yet beware the weight of expectation that can settle on your shoulders when everyone seeks your light. Balance this by remembering Marcus Aurelius' counsel. Speak less to amplify your truth. Let each insight be a sharpened arrow, not a scatter of sparks. In that restraint, your inspiration becomes a lodestar. When you elevate another's spirit, you reinforce your own purpose. Your empathy forges connections so deep they echo long after the conversation ends. You are both mirror and guide, and in your careful words lies the power to transform. Trait number 7. Walking against the current. Have you felt the tug of convention, only to push back with fierce conviction? HEYOKA empathic Sigmas instinctively swim upstream in a world that prizes conformity. When everyone nods in one direction, you tilt your head the other way, not from spite, but from an inner compass that refuses to be tamed. Psychologists describe this as reactance, a drive to reclaim freedom when it's threatened. Yet for you, it's more than rebellion. It's a profound expression of authenticity. You chafe at groupthink, sensing the hidden fears or biases that fuel collective choices. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true strength lies in self-mastery, not in following the crowd. You harness this wisdom by examining each belief before granting it weight. Picture a lone falcon ascending against the wind. Each powerful wing beat takes you higher, even as the gale fights you. In conversation, this means you challenge assumptions gently, but relentlessly. You ask why not? When others accept, because we've always done it, your insight cracks open stale ideas. Yet beware the isolation that can follow when your path diverges too sharply. To balance this, practice strategic dissent. Voice your counterpoint only when it enlightens, not just to oppose. The Stoics teach that virtuous action is timely. Choose your moments, like a sculptor chipping away only where the marble demands it. In embracing this paradox, both integrally connected and defiantly independent, you become a catalyst for growth. As HEYOKA empathy, your refusal to drift with the tide sparks fresh currents, guiding others toward uncharted possibilities. Trait number 8, Master of Resonance. Have you ever sensed exactly what someone needs before they even voice it, then held back until the moment is ripe? You, HEYOKA, empathic Sigma, have honed your gift into a tool of transformation. No longer driven by impulse, you forge others toward productivity, offering precisely the insight or encouragement that sparks action. In this state, your empathy becomes a beacon, guiding each individual to their own forge of purpose. Psychologists call this refined capacity emotional intelligence, a blend of social awareness and self-management, first popularized by Daniel Goleman. You channel your empathic tuning into strategic timing. You know when to speak and when to stand back. Avoid the pitfall of overservicing, where constant intervention drains your own resolve, by cultivating the Sigma discipline of selective engagement. Then, as Zeta, you deepen your mastery. You choose not only what to share, but when and how to use the resonance you've absorbed. Epictetus reminds us, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. You judge each emotional impression, deciding which to act on and which to let pass like wind over still water. Imagine a conductor who senses every instrument's nuance, yet raises the baton only when the symphony needs crescendo, orchestrating growth in others while preserving your inner silence. In this balance, you transcend mere feeling. You become the catalyst of collective awakening. Thanks for watching.